Traps are just a part of life. We spend so much time every day trying to avoid them, we don't even think about it anymore. They just pop up in everyday conversations. How many times have you heard this before?
12 CDs for a penny? How can I lose?
Trap. See? Knowing how to avoid traps will keep you out of trouble. That's the same thing when you're on the road. By being alert and knowing how to spot a trap before it becomes a problem will keep you safe, and you'll be able to avoid any unnecessary high-risk situations before they happen.
Hey! Hey, Teach, how you doing?
All right.
Right, let's go.
Today, we're going to be working on avoiding different road traps, such as passing other vehicles, blind spots, and road traps that can be caused by you and other drivers.
Okay, let's go.
All right, such enthusiasm. Let's go, take it out.
Let's do it.
All right. Now, one of the things that you need to be constantly aware of when you're on the road are blind spots, both yours and the other drivers. You don't want anybody driving in your blind spots, and you certainly don't want to be driving in other drivers' blind spots. See that car up there on the left?
Yeah.
Where is his blind spot?
Blind?
No, blind spot, remember?
Oh, yeah. That would be slightly behind the car on the left and right hand sides, right?
That's correct. But how do you know if they can see you?
I'm not sure.
Well, there's actually a really easy way to tell. Can you see his face in their mirror?
It's a her.
What?
Driver, it's a girl.
Oh, okay. Can you see her face in her mirror?
Yeah.
Then you know that they can see you. Stop staring, Peter. Eyes on the road. Now, just as important is making sure that there are no cars in your blind spot. If you see a car in your rearview mirror coming up and they suddenly disappear and they don't reappear, what does that mean?
Magic?
Not really the answer I was looking for. If a driver disappears and doesn't suddenly reappear, that means either A, they've turned, or B, they're still back there in your blind spot. That's the option that you do not want. So what do you think you should do?
Slow down?
Yeah, that's an option. You could slow down, you could let them pass you, you could speed up, you could change lanes, but you want to take the safest option, depending on the situation around you. Now, the blind spot over your shoulder isn't the only blind spot. Improperly set mirrors can also create blind spots. That's why you want to make sure they're all set before you start driving. Your car can also provide blind spots. Pull up here at this intersection, I'll show you.
Okay.
See this framework between windows?
Yeah.
Well, it's blocking your line of sight. You need to be aware of anything that is blocking your line of sight, whether it's outside of your vehicle or inside of your vehicle. Heck, even passengers can block your line of sight.
You mean like you?
Yep.
Oh, so like if I asked you to duck, then you like wouldn't care?
No, not if it could potentially save our lives. I wouldn't mind ducking for a few moments. The safest way to avoid driving traps that are created by blind spots is to use your space management techniques and create a space cushion all around your vehicle. That way you'll have plenty of time to react to any cars that might be in your blind spots or other traps. In fact, we're coming up to one right now. All right, see that car up there trying to make a left-hand turn?
Yeah.
Because he is waiting to make a left-hand turn, he has a bunch of cars behind him blocked up. Now, by staying alert and paying attention, you can avoid a trap like that and choose the path of least resistance. In this case, that would be changing lanes over to the right, getting out of the traffic. Now, just because we're not stuck behind that other driver doesn't mean we're in the clear. Whenever you are passing stopped or slowed traffic, you want to keep an eye out for them. Because remember, all drivers are not as careful as you are. They might just turn out in front of you, might not use their turn signals.
How do I avoid that?
Well, you got to keep your eye on the drivers. See if there's any sudden movements with their hands. Maybe they're trying to change into the lanes. Now, you won't always just have the drivers on the left that you have to worry about. Another common trap is being stuck between two vehicles. In that case, you'd have to worry about the maneuvers of two drivers, and that can be very nerve-wracking. So in that case, you want to try to slow down or speed up past them. Don't pass both vehicles unless you absolutely have to. And in that case, do it as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I can see how that can cause a little bit of trouble.
If one of those vehicles decides to come into your lane because they don't see you, you could get stuck between those two vehicles. It'd be like being stuck in a vice. Here's a few tips to keep in mind whenever you need to pass another vehicle. First off, make sure it's legal for you to pass in that area. If you see a sign that says no passing, or if you see a lane marker that prohibits passing, wait until you come to an area in the road where passing is allowed again. Second, Remember, it's illegal to pass another vehicle within 100 feet of an intersection or within 100 feet of a railroad crossing, bridge, or tunnel. Also, avoid passing before a hill or curve or anywhere else that your line of sight might be limited. You want to make sure you can see clearly ahead of you before you decide to make your move. It's important to remember when passing, you'll want to make sure you've got plenty of room for your maneuver. That's why a clear line of sight is such a big deal. Don't try to go fast to pass another vehicle that gets in your way. Don't try to squeeze into a space that only leaves you with inches to spare. Wait until there's room, then safely pass the vehicle ahead of you. Also, be sure to pass quickly. Don't stay in the other driver's blind spot any longer than you absolutely have to. It's annoying and dangerous when other people do it to you. Show the other driver the same courtesy. It's safer for you and for them. Another important thing to remember, this isn't a race. If another driver is trying to pass you, don't suddenly get all competitive and speed up to try and keep them from passing. Just let them pass you. You aren't going to lose any driving time by letting another driver pass you, and it'll keep both of you safe by not trying to outrun the other drivers. Plus, it just kind of makes you look like a jerk when you do that. When you're finally ready to complete your pass, be sure to protect that space cushion. Make sure you've got enough room behind you before you get back into your original lane of traffic. You should be able to see the headlights of the car you're passing before you try and get back into their lane. That way, you know that you'll be leaving enough room for them to stop safely in case anything goes wrong. Finally, always ask yourself, is passing really necessary? Any change to the flow of traffic is going to increase your risk. Whenever you're changing lanes or passing another vehicle, make sure that it's absolutely necessary or it will increase your risk. So what do you think about passing?
I think it's pretty good. I mean, I'm probably going to need a little bit of practice, but I feel good about it.
Yeah, you're going to need the practice. You're going to need that practice for when you're past your driver's test and you're out there on the road. But remember, mastering passing means you're one step closer to mastering passing your driver's test.
All right.
All right.